Dora shouted, leaping out from behind a tree. She then turned to me and announced, "It's Halloween." Dora was dressed as a black cat. She says, "Meow," to me. She spotted Boots in a hilarious costume. Dora sneaked up to him and yelled, "Boo!" The surprise made Boots do a flip. Boots looked at Dora's black cat costume, but Dora was confused about what he was supposed to be. Boots explained that he couldn't decide between a firefighter and a chicken, so he decided to be a fire chicken. Dora thought the costume was very funny. Boots makes chicken and fire trucks. Ow. Suddenly, a little monster popped out and surprised them, making with Dora and Boots jump. Boots initially thought it was someone in a costume, but it turned out to be an actual little monster. All of a sudden, loud chimes rang from the big clock. The hand was pointing to the number 9, and the clock chimed 9 times. The little monster quickly told Dora and Boots that he had to get home right away. Explained the rule. All monsters must be home when the clock's hand gets to 12 midnight. Dora and Boots understood the urgency and knew what they had to make sure the little monster got home before midnight. They checked with Map, who was just as a ghost. For help, Map told them they needed to go through the pumpkin patch and then through the Good Witch's forest to bring the little monster to his monster house. Also, since they could catch stars along the way, Dora, Boots, and the little monster set off. Along their journey, they saw their friends dress up. Benny was a giant chocolate chip cookie, Tico was a bumblebee, and Issa was a polar bear. A little further down the path, they saw a house and decided to stop and trick or treat. A door opens and a mother rabbit comes out. Dora, Boots, and the little monster say, "Trick or treat," and Mother Rabbit fills their Halloween containers with candy. They thanked Mother Rabbit and kept going bong, bong. The big clock's arrow now pointed to the 10 and chimed 10 times. They have 2 houses left before taking a little monster home. Dora, Boots, and the little monster see Mr. Scarecrow. They surprise him. Mr. Scarecrow gets surprised and saw their Halloween costumes. They explain to Mr. Scarecrow that they have to go through the pumpkin patch. Mr. Scarecrow hands him a smiling jack-o'-lantern container. He also tells them to get through the pumpkin patch. They find the pumpkin that matches the face on the one they have. The first little path looked just like the one Mr. Scarecrow handed Dora, Boots, and the little monster had. The other one looks sad. They find another one that matches the smiling pumpkin that had another lower path. The other one looked surprised. After that, they made it through the pumpkin patch. Now they had to go through the Good Witch's forest. Along the way, they see Diego dressed as a bat and Big Red Chicken dressed as a pig. Next, Dora, Boots, and the little monster decided to trick or treat at Dora's grandma's house. Dora, Boots, and the little monster say trick or treat, and Dora's abuela comes out dressed as a pumpkin. She fills their Halloween containers with lots of different sweets and treats. After that, they thank Dora's grandma and headed off. Suddenly, they hear Swiper, the fox. They thought he would swipe their candy they have. The little monster doesn't want that to happen. Swiper stands a rock, casts his shadow behind the moon. His Halloween costume's a pirate. Pirate Swiper comes down onto the path. Dora, Boots, and the little monster say, "Swiper, no swiping," 3 times. Swiper's about to leave. When Dora offered him some candy, but she told him that if he wanted some, all he had to say was trick or treat. Swiper does so, and it works. Dora gives him some of the candy. Now Pirate Swiper leaves happily with some candy and says to himself that he always loves Halloween, especially when he gets candy. Soon after Swiper gave some candy as mercy, Dora, Boots, and the little monster saw a big creaky gate, which is the way to enter the Good Witch's forest. They say "Abre," and the gates open. While making a loud creaking noise, they go through. Little monster laughs and mentions, "It sure is creaky." They then say "Sierra" to close the gate. The gate closes, and Dora, Boots, and the little monster were now in the Good Witch's forest. Then they saw a Good Witch mixing a potion in the cauldron and a black cat. At first, the little monster is a bit frightened, but Dora tells him not to worry as she is a Good Witch. Bong, bong! The big clock's arrow is now at 11. Now Dora, Boots, and the little monster had one more hour to go, or it was time to little monster come home. They had to get through the Good Witch's forest, and it was so big. The Good Witch offers them a ride using her broomstick, but they had to be careful and hold on tight, because the Good Witch's broomstick goes super fast. Dora puts the Halloween containers inside backpack for safekeeping. After that, they got on the broomstick, and whoosh, they were off flying super fast. Suddenly, there was a great big wall. They had to point the broomstick up as high as they could, and they whooshed over the big wall. Then they saw the moon up high in the night sky. Dora points the broomstick up. Boots and the little monster help her, and together they zoomed to the moon. Soon after that, they heard stars. Some of the stars were orange, and some of them were black. Halloween traditional colors. Suddenly, they saw an explorer star named Disco Star. I know that Disco Star can help them celebrate Halloween with music and dancing along the way if they can catch him. Dora, Boots, and the little monster catch the stars as they continue to fly on the broomstick. Then they put the stars in the star pocket. After catching the stars, little monster, Dora, and Boots made it through the Good Witch's forest. Dora and Boots were getting close to getting little monster home. Suddenly, there's a big silly spider in their way. Little monster knew what to do. They just have to make like a monster and say "boo." Dora, Boots, and little monster shouted "boo" to the big silly spider who's in their way. He gets a fright and goes up and away. After doing that, little monster is home with his parents, Mommy and Daddy Monster. Little monster wanted to know if he made it home in time, so he checked the big clock together. Bong, bong. Errol and the big clock was pointing at television. The little monster made it home on time. Now it's time for the big Halloween party. All of Dara's friends join in, even Swiper, and Disco Star plays some music for them. Have a happy Halloween.